This is actually on a private computer, that's right. I just write top hackers, which is not the dark web. It's just a lot of informations on hackers, right? On who is big and, you know. So basically, right, that's her, sure. They're pretty close here, you know.
Number 10. Kevin Poulsen. How do you become the very first person in the United States history to be banned from the internet? Well, you gotta be Kevin Poulsen, also known as Dark Dante. His thing was hacking phone lines during the 80s and 90s, which he became particularly famous for when he hacked into a Los Angeles radio station to be absolutely certain that you'd be the 102nd caller and win a Porsche. Eventually, the FBI took notice of his shenanigans and he was on the run. But as with all good villains, even while in hiding, he would continue to be very irritating. Years later, when he was featured on the TV show Unsolved Mysteries, the station's phone lines mysteriously fell. He was later caught and served 5 years in prison, with a 3-year ban from the internet. Funnily enough, he apparently had his share of fun, and is now done with that life. He currently works as a writer for the magazine Wired. Number 9. Kristina Svechinskaya. It doesn't get better than being known as the world's sexiest computer hacker. The Russian hacker Kristina Svechinskaya, who spent time as a money mule for other hackers, is famous for her involvement in a plot
That's why she
with
won my
several US
ID,
and British
right?
banks. She used multiple Trojan horse bugs to attack hundreds of accounts, opening up at least 5, from which about $35,000 was stolen. Together with the other hackers, they managed to steal a total of $3 million. She was set to go to jail for a total of 40 years, 30 years for the theft and 10 for suspected passport forgery. But she managed to avoid serving time altogether by signing a personal reconnaissance bond and a $25,000 bail. Her feats will soon be recognized later this year in a Russian feature named Botnet that is soon to be released. Number 8. Jonathan James. Jonathan James' story is a classic one. At the ripe age of only 15, he hacked into networks owned by Bell South, Miami-Dade, the US Department of Defense, and of course NASA, the last being the most impressive, and, well, destructive. He ended up downloading enough source code to learn how the ISS operated. That information is worth roughly $1.7 million. NASA would have to shut down their network for 3 entire weeks to investigate the breach, costing them roughly $41,000. After serving time in prison, he was implicated in a large string of attacks on multiple large companies in 2007. Even though he denied any involvement, there was of course an investigation. Despite convincing many officials that he was innocent in 2008, he soon after committed suicide, likely because it looked like he would have been blamed for several crimes that he may have not committed. Number 7. Gary McKinnon. How much damage can one lone computer hacker do? Hacker Gary McKinnon showed us how he broke into the US military's computer systems. When he first began his hacking career, he claimed his reason for hacking the US military and NASA was to find and uncover UFO files. Honorable as his intention